My name is Nathan, and this is my Chick-Fil-A success story. As a team member, I learned that using My Pleasure really adds to that customer experience. And now that I'm a physical therapist, I still use My Pleasure every day to show my patients how much I care.
Good evening and welcome to the Chick-fil-A Douglas Coaches Show tonight. We're glad to have you. I'm Matt Peavy alongside Coach Coe as always, and we are excited. Take time real quick to share this on all your platforms and just to celebrate what's going on here. Coach, congratulations. Number one ranked in 5A, our fifth region championship in school history, 10-0. Just a lot of things to be excited for, man. It was a packed out house over in Ware County, and our Trojans and the coaching staff went in there and took care of business. We did what we knew we could do, and how you've been confident all year, and really accomplished a lot of things. Our whole defense, man, they lights out.
Unbelievable.
If there was any doubters after Friday night, shutting out the defending state championship. Well, didn't shut them out, but holding them to only 5 points, no touchdowns. I was looking at the stat, the quarterback average, I think it was 168 passing throughout all the regular season, held him to 58 yards total passing, and then they ran for I think 95 yards with 93 yards on Friday. Just an outstanding showing from our defense, being who they've been all year long, and then offensively, man, you made a statement coming out with the flea flicker, and that was great, and our guys just played consistently. So we're going to break all that down. Fred going over 1,500 yards on Friday night, holding the all-time record at Coffee High, and doing it against, again, the defending state champions, and 17 touchdowns on the year. So a lot to celebrate, and again, congratulations. We're proud, man, excited. I got to be a part of a region championship. I was just telling the boys that I'll be interviewing tonight in 2002. But that was the first time in a while, and unfortunately, we're talking with Robert Preston. Unfortunately for us, we beat Valdosta for the first time in 32 years, and that became our state championship that night. And we went on to not move through the, not move through the playoffs. But we know that is not this team. And so again, congratulations, and just talk about, man, the feel. I seen WALB. Got a little emotional when he was talking about the guys and the players, and I mean, it's just been a dynamic season.
Well, just, it's like I told them after practice today. I've been able to be with them every day, and I've seen how hard they've worked. You lose to Cartersville. You go up to Cartersville last year, you don't play very well at all in the first half, and then you fight like crazy to come back in the second half, and, you lose 56-28, and but it was really felt closer than that. Fred fumbled going into the end zone. We dropped a touchdown pass. I believe it was on a flea flicker maybe. You take away, Ant dropped a pick in the end zone, and they scored the next play. You take 3 or 4 plays in that game, and it's a really close ball game, And so we cleaned out lockers that Monday and Tuesday when we got back, and then on Wednesday, they're back in the weight room. Yeah. And we had 11 straight tremendous workouts before Christmas break. And I told Coach G and Coach Vesser and those guys then, I think we got us a little something.
Yeah.
I think these guys got a bad taste in their mouth. They don't like how it ended. Most groups would have probably complained and wanted to take those 2 or 3 weeks off after a long, hard season. But, man, they got in there and got after it. And while it was only 11 workouts, it was 11 workouts. We got better before we went home for Christmas. And then we made it our mission to get faster. The one thing when I got here, I thought we were really strong. They're always going to be strong, with Coach Booth in the weight room, but I didn't think we were fast enough. When we played teams like Bainbridge last year, and especially Ware County, they were faster than we were. When we would break, when those guys break it, it's a house call. When we break, it's a 20-yard gain, and you got to go snap it again. And so we worked really hard, and I know our guys got tired of hearing it, But I told them, if you want a chance to go do something special, we have got to get faster. You got to run track. We got to change the way we do some things in the weight room. We still got strong and lifted hard and all that, but we got to get more plyometrics involved, jumping, bounding, and we just got to race, man. We got to sprint. Yeah. We got to chase each other. And, that's how you get faster. And they went and did that, And that's why I told them pregame Friday night in the locker room, you've earned the right to come do this.
Yeah.
And we can go execute the game plan we have because you guys have earned the right to do that. Last year we played off of them. You know, it's 4th and 6, and we're playing off at 10 yards. Well, they're just going to take the hitch and get the first down. Now we've got the people, we can get in your face and make the quarterback throw. It's got to be a perfect ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it scares you at times. I'm not going to lie to you now. It scares me to death at times, you know. But you got guys like Ant Paulk that can go cover people. And now it's to the point with old Jaden Hancock over there. You don't have to put Ant on a certain guy like we always have. You know, Jaden covered their number 17, made a tremendous play in the third quarter down there in their end zone. Quarterback laid it right in the bucket, and at the last second, you know, Jaden didn't panic. He played through the kid's hands and punched it out, and that's why you finished the plays, you know. And Coach Brown, Alex Brown, brought him over this year from Valdosta, actually coached him at Madison. He has done a tremendous job with our corners, you know. And we've got guys that are getting more Travis Adams.
Yes.
I mean, what an unbelievable athlete. That joker runs a 4.4, power cleans 300 pounds, benches 300 pounds. And we just try to find somewhere where he could be comfortable and play. Another night we had a Gator package, which was really, we play kind of a nickel defense. We play with 5 DBs. Well, then we put him in. It was like a dime, but he's big and strong enough to play in the box too. But you talk about a joker that can cover man-to-man,
yep.
You know, he can do it. And his confidence is just growing and growing. And then we put him at running back some. And I'm telling you now, he's come out of his shell. But there's all Isaiah Johnson. I mean,
what a play.
You know, but he makes them every week.
Yep.
You know, and probably if you test our kids over there, him and Pooh, you know, not that they're going to test bad, but they're not going to blow your mind away with their numbers. But their football, they're always where they're supposed to be. They're always where they're supposed to be. And Isaiah, he just read that quarterback.
Not only did he read the quarterback, he read the pocket and everything.
Yeah.
It opened up. You could see the window, and from the get-go,
Coach G gets on to him all the time. Quit looking at the quarterback. Quit looking at the quarterback. Well, I'm glad he looked at the quarterback.
Yeah.
That one, you know,
that was big.
But he baited the kid into throwing it because he looked like he was dropping on the hash, and then he froze and he robbed that thing. But he's done it all year long. He's always in the right spot. His football IQ is off the charts. You know, Pooh's football IQ is off the charts, and then. Man, when he rocked that kid on their sideline,
yes, sir.
You know, but our kids were ready, and the reason I did the flea flicker, whether it worked or not, I wanted our kids to know we're not coming in here playing scared.
Right.
You know, they're like, Coach, you gonna do it even if we get them on the 20? I said, we get it on -1, I'm doing it. We're not coming in here. We're not playing not to lose, and we're not gonna play scared. We are coming to win this football game. You guys have earned that. You've prepared for that, and again, complimentary football though. You know, you go back to McHale's punt. That Isaiah Downs on the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
You know, and then we get the pick 6, you know, and his punting all night long was really, really good. Our kickoff coverage, other than that one after the safety, I think we caused 2 or 3 fumbles, but Tyrese Hansley had a big lick right there, and then that last one, I think Ant knocked the ball loose, and Tyrese actually recovered it.
Right.
You know, but special teams, Jonah, 4 for 4 on extra points. It was just complimentary all the way around, and then, you know, the fake punt, talking about football IQ. You know, we faked the punt, and the snap was a little low, but man, if you see it on film, woo, and I know what Tyrese was doing, he was getting the snap and getting vertical. But boy, if he hits that thing a hole wider
right.
where we worked on it hitting, he probably hits his head on the goalpost. You know, because the other kid rushed up the field so hard, we felt like we could get underneath him. But again, the fake punt call. I flipped over to defense. Gee, I'm going to fake the punt. You good with that? I got you. Let's go, big dog.
Yep.
We got you. If you don't get it, we'll stop them. You know, and that our kids feed off of that, and they know we got each other's back. We're not going to point fingers and pout and all that. And I'm telling you, they don't flinch. You know, and we practice fast and we practice physical. Now we're smart with it. We don't go out there and kill each other. But our kids tomorrow, we're going to do Midnight Alley and start practice. It's going to be physical. You know, and they know that. And I thought we were very, very physical the other night. I thought we had a good time playing football, but I thought our kids were laser focused all week long. We had our best week of practice, and they just said, we're going to get in your face defensively, and if you beat us, you're going to have to beat us over the top, but we're going to get in your face. You're not going to run the ball. You're not going to get your quick throws and your screens. We're not going to let the quarterback get in the rhythm, and I think he was 8 for 25. You know, and I don't know that we sacked him one time.
Right.
But we affected him.
All night long.
We got in his face. We got around him. With their crossing routes, we tried to jack them up when they crossed our face and throw their timing off. And I think we only blew 1 or 2 coverages, you know. But that's Coach G and Coach Strip and Hutch and Booth and Coach Minshew, Grantham, all those guys, the defensive staff, they do a great job, you know. And after, it was either Sunday or Monday last week, you know, we were doing a lot of stuff on defense. And I texted Coach G and I said, tell me the 3 things our defense does the best, you know, on our DBs. And he said, by far, man, getting in your face, here we come. I got you, you can't beat me, and then getting pressure. I said, then do it.
Yeah.
Do it. That's who we are. If we go down, let's go down being who we are. Don't change a lot of things because of who we're playing, man. Be who we are. Take away their easy stuff, get in their face, trust your guys, and let's go, you know. And I learned that lesson a little bit. You know, Coach Berger's here tonight, and I told him after the game, I'm like, you bailed me out, man. Because offensively, we got in a little rut. And when we were up by 2 scores, I'll be honest with you, Matt, my thought process was, don't give them anything that's going to hurt our defense. They can't score on our defense twice if we don't give them a scoop and score, a pick six, a strip sack, something of that nature. And, you know, when I flip over to the defense, I tell Coach Berger, get us a good play to start the next drive. Because he was my offensive coordinator in Madison for 10, 11 years. You know, that's my right-hand man. I trust him with it. You know, I call it sometimes. He calls it sometimes. You know, Coach Hall has a lot of input, Coach Shook, all those guys. And Coach Berger said, Coach, I'm telling you, if we get in our twins and go our base stuff and go fast, I'm telling you, we can juice them. They're tired. They're worn out. We can break them, you know. And, man, them last 2 drives, we just got in twins and twins over, and we ran some form of inside zone.
Yeah.
But what we did is we ran belly and insert, and we locked our big tackles on their big tackles.
Yeah.
And let our inside guys work, and then we got Range and Brady on linebackers and stuff, and then those running backs did the rest, you know. And I learned a lesson. This year 30 for me, and I tell our kids that. Listen, I learned the other night.
Right.
The same thing I preached to Coach G and those guys, I got to do that.
Yeah.
You know, we probably put a little too much in because of who we're playing and the magnitude of the game instead of this is who we are. We're much better when we go lightning fast and try to suffocate people. Like today at practice, we snapped the ball and I would count to 10. And if that ball wasn't snapped, the next play, I was ticking it and they were going to stay after. And I think we got every one of them off like within 8 seconds, you know. And that's Oregon type. That's big
great.
time, you know. And my thought process with that is that means Fred's going to get extra carries.
Yeah.
That means Tyrese Hansley's going to get extra carries. That means Pat McCall's going to get more opportunities. That means all those guys are going to get more opportunities to go make a play. And so I learned my lesson with that night. But our kids, man, are unbelievable. They're built different. They don't flinch. You know, they say these days we want all the smoke. They want all the smoke, man.
Well, it's almost like going in. So our first drive was great. You did we did what you want to do to start the game, and then they come out, and it was almost like, you know, it's the first series. They hit a couple big plays. They started playing fast. Then we had a pass interference call that was terrible, but that's adversity. Right. It was like when they made that pass interference call, or something goes wrong, it's like our guys say, okay, watch. We're about to get you and show you. And then we shut them down and held them to a field goal. I mean, literally, after that pass interference call, they didn't hardly move. And they were down inside, I think we're inside the 20 at that point with that big call, and we held them to a field goal. That's, I mean, and I go back to another moment in the game where, you know, we go down at center, and I don't know if that was what led to it, but it's something we've not seen all year long where we had multiple false starts. They were barking orders clearly from the defense, but our guys didn't flinch. Even after the safety, I mean, we just respond like you're talking about. It's like that gives us an extra ounce of energy. Like, okay, that's fine. Watch what we're going to do now.
When we had to kick off and they ran back and our defense went out there and stuffed them 4 straight, I knew then, like, if they can't do it there, like if our defense says you're not getting anything, it don't matter, and they stuff them there, that was a wrap, you know, because and then even when we got up 21-5, you know, Coach G came down and he said, all right, y'all want to back off and play prevent, or y'all want to play the game plan? And I mean, without hesitation, I'm like, no, man, play the game plan. Get in them jokers' face. Don't give them nothing. Don't let them have anything, you know. And that's what you want. You know, you want grown man football, and that's what they played. And I got emotional just, man, my mind just started flooding back to everything. You know, we've lost some kids along the way, you know, for whatever reason. And this group has just been next man up. The other night was the first time we've had our other than KJ DeBruce, KJ was the only one that was injured and didn't dress out. That was the first time we've had our whole team dress out in, 5 or 6 weeks.
Wow.
You know, and it just hadn't mattered. It's just next man up, and then they just step up on special teams, and it's just a complete football team. They're fun to coach. You know, obviously today was about putting all that behind us and moving forward.
Sure.
We had a great practice day. You know, it was very business-like, workman-like. You know, we got a lot of work done getting ready for Chamblee coming in, and I don't think our guys are satisfied. I don't think, you know, they've worked way too hard for this to be the highlight of the season.
Yes,
you know, but I am extremely proud of them. You know, I felt like we were the more physical team, and I felt like we were in better shape. And you know, when we scored the touchdown on the quarterback sneak, you know, and they had some kids get banged up, being in that huddle with those guys and hearing them say, "Coach, they're tapping."
That's great.
We finished them. They're tired. They don't want any more.
Yep.
You know, because that's the things we preach to our kids. That's why we put you through what we put you through. And once it clicks in them and they get to the point where nothing can break them, that's the result you get. And I go back to, we're not as big as we were last year. LG Polk's the biggest defense player we got, 232 pounds.
Yep.
You know, and then offensively, Kyler and Jerzavion are big offensive tackles. Then other than that, man, our guards and centers are 230. You know, Fred's as big as our guards. He's probably bigger than our center. You know, we're not huge, but it's just we just got the right combination of kids, you know, that have done things the right way and believe in each other, and they continue to work hard, and they impress me, man. I'm telling you, I'm blessed. I am blessed.
Yeah, I had some family that graduated from Coffee County. They've watched online some this year, but first time they watched us in person this year, and the one thing they kept talking about, that first quarter was the speed. Like, man. And then what they were impressed with was the cornerback play and how close and how physical we played. And so, of course I said, yep, we've done it all year long, right? Yeah. We've done it all year long. And even when it comes to offense on Friday night, I was sharing with you before, I had that one fan up there going, "Come on, throw the ball while we running the ball." And I was like, "Man, have you not watched this play? We were 7 for 9 in the passing game. I mean, that's
until we throw a pick six, and then it's you idiot."
Yeah, you idiot. That's how it goes.
And I'll say this, and you know this: I could care less what a fan has to say. Right? This is my passion. This is my calling. This is every one of our coaches. If everybody could do it, they do it.
That's right.
Men can all do two things: coach football and run a grill.
Yeah.
They know better. But I mean, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yep.
And I tell people all the time, I'm not going to tell a lawyer how to be a lawyer because I'm not a lawyer.
Right.
I'm not going to come up here and run Chick-Fil-A.
Yep.
I don't work at Chick-Fil-A. And we work our tails off. I'm not with my girls at home a majority of the time during football season because we're up at that field house watching film. You can ask my wife how much I slept even after winning the game. I think I fell asleep about 4:30 and got up at 6 because little mama wanted to go ride the ponies at the chicken and the liver festival thing, and so me and her went and did that. But, we're not perfect. And our kids know that. We're going to make mistakes too.
Right.
That other team's got good coaches too, and it's got really good players, you know, and that's why it's a team,
yep.
And I don't know, people, it's ridiculous the things that people say, but
yeah, I told you my response was, "Come on, we're only 9-0. Let's go."
Right.
But that's it, and you guys all season long have done it consistently. I did want to ask you something when it comes to offense with Fred. Man, he's had such a tremendous year, and I know it is a team sport. You've preached that. Is anybody looking at Fred?
He's got some. Actually, Georgia military offered him the other day.
That's awesome.
He's short. He's not fast in terms of timing, but he brings something to the table that most running backs don't. He's not going to go backwards. I think he could fit in a multitude of different offenses.
Sure.
He could be a fullback in the option game. He could be a fullback in the I. He could be a running back like he is for us. He pass blocks really well. Believe it or not, he's got really good hands. So, and I told him Georgia military would be a great place for him. You don't have the military requirement now there. It's not too far from home, but he's got a couple other smaller schools that's looked at him. He's getting his grades up where they need to be and all that. So we'll work really hard on on trying to find him.
That's awesome. And you know, you really seen as we kind of close this chapter, we didn't talk a lot of defense, but our defense is just, I mean, phenomenal. If you watch the game Friday night, that's all you need to see. But all year long, they've just done it. But with Fred just leaning on people, pounding people, offensive line hitting them physical, and then late in the game, it really showed when our, you know, the quick running back come in and was able to hit a couple.
He's Tyree's sitting small now.
Right, he's a big guy.
He's a low. He's probably the most improved kid on our team. This time last year, he drove me nuts. You know, just there's always something. This hurt, that hurt. You know, you just didn't know what you're going to get every day. And now he's gotten that weight room, and he's gotten jacked up, and he ran track, and he's the same every day, man. He's a bull. You know,
I feel like when I'm just watching all season long, I feel like our guys have just physically gotten bigger as the season goes on, man.
No, we're going to continue to lift. We're going to continue, and I tell them that. A lot of schools right now are backing off of lifting. We're not. No, we're not going crazy, and you know, we're not putting 500-600 pounds on our back, but we're going to still lift hard, you know, and we're going to get our work in. And Mondays are normally our big lift day, you know, so. They lifted hard today in class and had a lot of volume there, but it prevents injury. You know, that's a big thing it does, but it keeps that edge.
Yep.
It keeps that edge to you. You know what I mean? That weight room will keep that edge to you. And I'm proud of our guys. You know, now it's just one day at a time, 1 week at a time.
That's great,
you know,
Coach.
trying to stay 1-0.
Well, man, we're proud of you, and we're behind you here at Chick-Fil-A, and I'll be there every week,
yes,
you know,
sir.
leading all the way to the state championship. So as we look forward, before we bring on some of our players, well, we have the Chambly Bulldogs. I don't know how I think that's how you pronounce it. They're coming to town. Friday night, they finished the season 4-6, 2-3. Their losses come to Arabia Mountain, Tucker, and a close game to Decatur. You guys have looked at film. Tell us as much as you want to about Chambly, what to expect, and I know what we're going to be doing, you know, just kind of doing our routine.
They're another odd front defense, you know, which our guys should be able to block in their sleep. You know, I feel like that's all we've seen all year long is odd. That's a three-man, three-man down for people that don't know what that is. But odd front on D, they'll walk that outside backer up, you know. They play hard. They made some changes the last couple of weeks. They moved a defense kid over the quarterback, a big old rascal. He's 6'2", 6'3", 230. That can move, you know. And they've had some close ball games. And bottom line is, they're not 4-6. They're 0-0.
Yep.
You know, we're 0-0. And in 5A football, there's going to be 16 teams that are 1-0 after Friday, and they're going to be 16 that's 0-1 and going to play basketball. And we just want to be 1-0. We want to. Again, we don't really make it about them. We make how did we practice today? How was our tempo? How was our effort?
Sure.
How was our focus? You know, and I felt like we had a really good day. You know, and I'll be honest, it's tough to come down off that high of Friday night. You know, I've been a part of 5 or 6 state championships, and that's what it felt like. Friday night. You know, that's why I couldn't sleep. You know, just mind just spinning.
There's probably 10,000 fans there Friday night. I mean, it was a huge crowd.
And I hope our people will show up, you know, and support our guys this Friday because they deserve it. And I think you can see how it affects them when they're there and they got them dang cans shaking. One thing I will say, when our offense is down by the goal line, don't shake them cans.
Don't shake the cans. I seen you.
Be quiet where they can hear them snap.
We got to hear it.
Now, when they got the ball, shake them
as loud as you can.
Like there's no shaking left in the world, you know. But we'll be ready to play. Our kids are excited. A lot of our kids text me this weekend, Coach, it's go time. You know, it's playoff mode, round one, loading, whatever. They got all these little sayings these days, you know. But they're excited. You know, I think they're smart kids. They know the opportunity we have. And it's like I told them last week, how many kids across America would give something up that's very valuable to be in your shoes tonight and play in this atmosphere and to play for what's at stake. You know, like a lot of kids are going to play, I mean, it's boring. You know, they're playing somebody that's not very good. You've worked all year long to go do this opportunity in front of all the, I mean, when we pulled in there, Matt, it was like college game day.
It was.
They
tailgated all day long.
Signs and beers, and I mean, it's crazy, man. They're pointing fingers at each other and yelling. I'm like, it's good stuff right here, you know. Yeah, but I mean the opportunity, and that's what we got. We've got to every Friday from on out. We got to treat it like that.
Yes.
Like that. And if we'll do that, no matter what happens, we'll be able to look in the mirror and always be proud of how we prepared and how we executed and we gave each other all we had. You know, if you can do that, you can be proud.
Yep, that's great. Well, good luck Friday night, Coach.
Appreciate it.
And appreciate it. We're going to bring on some of our players. And so as we get our first player coming up here to interview, Tico Smith, he's going to be headed this way. We want to encourage you. You heard Coach. You showed out. You showed up Friday night over in Ware County. Come back out this Friday night. Kickoff is at 7:30. What's up, my man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Congratulations, dude. Region championships, 10-0, undefeated. Tell me a little bit. I know you're looking forward to this week, but just look back for me just a little bit. And Friday night, how did it feel to come out there with a victory and to be a region champ?
It felt like everything we worked for finally came to us. Like, especially coming from last year with us getting put out by Cartersville, with losing with only a few plays, and then us losing to Ware County last year, which I thought we still could beat them. But we had a lot of preparation and we watched a lot of film on them, and I just knew we can come out there and get the win.
Man, y'all come out and you definitely showed up and showed out. Let's talk about the offensive line, man. You guys have created space for Fred and the other running backs all year long, man. What's the mindset of the offensive lineman, and what has it been all year?
It's always been, hey, we got to go down. As long as we do our part, we know Fred can handle everything else and our other backs. We got great running backs.
Yeah.
And with our good tackles, Jazavian and Kyler, and then with Tay and Gabe, and then our backup center, Jaden Vester, like, we all just trusting each other. And as long as we get the front 4 or 3 and a couple of the linebackers, we can Fred can have space with the safeties, and we're going to take Fred and Tyrese Hensley all day.
All day, every day, and you've been doing it all season long, man. As we look forward to Friday night, what's kind of your mindset, your thought going into this week's preparation?
As long as we practice like we practiced last week and how we've been practicing, we can go out there and take care of business. They're 3-3. They like to run 3-3. So if we go out, we've been blocking 3-3 all year. Our defense run. So as long as we go out there and practice and prepare like we always been, then we can get the win.
That's awesome. And I know Coach had mentioned something about the scout team all season long. Obviously, those guys that are running scout for you prepare you guys very well for each game, so you want to always give them a shout out.
Yeah.
As we're fixing to bring on the next player, I want to end your interview session with this question. Who's your favorite college football team this year?
Alabama.
Man, come on, get out of here.
Alabama.
They play good. They played good against LSU. So Alabama, Georgia, if we get there, what we going to have? Who's going to win?
Alabama.
Come on, man. Get out of here. Congratulations, man. Thank you for being on. Hey, we want to give a shout-out while Bray Coe is coming on up here. We're going to give a shout-out to Robert Preston for Douglas Now. We appreciate all that he's done all season long, allowing us to bring this to you on his social media platforms and channels. And we also want to give a shout-out to Chris Wiggins with Centerpoint Technology and Solutions, the man behind the camera, the microphones, everything sound. We appreciate Chris for all that he's done for us. Bray, it's good to see you, man. So I had the privilege of working with you up here, dude. And the speed in which you worked up here has translated to the speed out on the field, man. You've had a good year. Congratulations on being region champs. And kind of go back. I know we're looking forward, but go back to Friday night for me for just a moment, man. What was the feel after the game? I know your confidence was there. You knew what was going to happen, but afterwards, just taking it all in and celebrating what you guys have been working for with the region championship. How'd that feel for you?
I mean, like, it felt good, but we all know that, like, it's not like, it's what we want, but it's just another goal, like,
right,
for that ring. Like, that's really what we want, and just we gotta have another great week, 1 week at a time, 5 weeks straight for that ring.
I love it, man. Keep looking forward and looking that way. So, wide receiver group, man, you guys are super talented. Many of them play. All of you guys play a lot of different ways. And so let's just talk about the mentality when it comes to blocking in that wide receiver group? What do you guys talk about? Is there a saying you got that on the field that you kind of bring each other back?
Just gotta be on every play, and like you could ask Coach Bird. I remember that first week we weren't blocking, and he was like, "If you don't block that play, you're gonna have to run." So ever since then, every play we gotta at least get hands on blocking.
So the motivation is not to have to run. I like it, man. I like it. That's awesome. What's one of your most memorable moments up to this point during the season for you?
Probably when I scored the Bulls game. Pat, he had got banged up with his hip, and then basically just next man up, and Maurice got hurt too, so it was just straight, basically backups. And Trey Ross, he rolled out and threw a dot right to me, touchdown, first one.
So that's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on that. All right, dude. Well, congratulations on your season. I know it's one game at a time. Good luck. I hope you and the guys continue to stay focused. Just know we're going to be out there screaming and hollering, and we're going to be shaking those cans only when they're on offense. Who's your favorite football team? College.
Colorado.
Colorado, you on the bandwagon? Yeah, I love it.
They got to get right, though.
What's your daddy, Coach Cole, gonna think about that with him being a Florida State fan?
Oh my goodness. Pray for a bowl game somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, you're going to need to pray for that. Bray, you can hang tight right there as I kind of wrap this up. Once again, thank you guys to the players and obviously the players of the game, the whole defense, the whole offense. Just been a fantastic season. But as Coach said, we start 0-0 starting Friday night. I want to leave you with this. I always like to give you a little bit of scripture. Colossians 4:6 says, "Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each other." You know, in a world full of negativity, let's just remember the grace that Jesus showed for each and every one of us. Let's have grace with each other, and let's season our words with wisdom, with the Word of God. And honestly, let's just love everybody. Coffee is Coffee One. You come out Friday night at 7:30 to support our Trojans in the first round of the state playoffs. We will see you next Monday at 7 o'clock here live at Douglas Chick-Fil-A. So be sure to join us then. See ya.